First of all, I would like to ask you about how hard have these last weeks been for you and for the team since the loss of Kawa?
I think very, very hard. Very hard. He was like a brother to me. So very, very hard, and I think it's still hard. I don't think it'll take time for me to get over it. I still speak of him in little memories, just to just to show that I miss him. But it's been very, very hard. Sometimes I don't know how to explain how hard, but I can understand everyone else shares the same feelings with me.
And for the team?
And for the team as well, I think it shows that he's not in the team. It shows he's not there. It's a big hole. He's left a big hole in the team. No one really talks about him anymore. I don't know if it's here, after death, it passes by quickly. But for us in the Pacific Islands, we mourn for a long time. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the whole family, friends, everyone. And I'm still mourning. I'm still grieving of the loss. And I think I try use that emotion to play rugby, but it's hard sometimes because he's usually playing all the time. So I'm used to him being by my side.
Okay. I think that, as you said, it was like a brother to you. You were very close. You are from Tonga. He was from New Zealand. I think that is your third season.
He's from Samoa. He was born in Samoa.
Okay, he was born in Samoa.
Yeah.
It's your third year in Ordizia. It was his fourth season. So yeah. I think that you were very close, no?
Yeah, I think the connection that we had is like I told my wife is that he was born in Samoa. He grew up in Samoa, and I was born in Tonga. I grew up in Tonga before I went to New Zealand. So he went to New Zealand at the same time. And for us from the Pacific Islands, we understand what it is like to have what we have now. We are grateful that we have this opportunity to play and see the world, eat good food here in the Basque Country, drink good wine. And we don't have this in the Pacific Islands. We don't have this in Tonga or Samoa. So we understand that and we connect in a way that we are grateful for everything we have. And Kawa is also a humble man. So him understanding where I come from and I understand where he comes from, we connect in that way.
So I understand that you met Kawa here in Ordizia.
Here,
as a player when you were here, no?
Just here in Ordizia. I played against him when I was in the other teams, but we just connect like all the Pacific Island people. We meet somebody, it's like he's my cousin, he's my he's my brother, he knows somebody, so we connect instantly.
The first match after his death was this weekend, the last weekend against Les Abelles. The team won that match, and as a little tribute,
Burgos.
Sorry, yes.
Burgos.
The last match was against Burgos. You won. You sang a little song for him. I remember.
At the end,
yes.
We did the clap. It's something he incorporated into the team. In the Pacific Islands, in Samoa, Tonga, Fiji, we always have little things that brings everyone together. And it's called mili mili. It's the action of rubbing two hands. Get ready to clap. Get ready to clap. And he did that for the team. It's just a little fun thing. And only he did that. I didn't do it. But then the team and the coach asked me that I continue on that in his memory. So it's just miri miri and bat and just one clap and hi hi ha and Ordizia. Nothing really yeah, nothing really significant about it, but the fact that it is
it's a way to remember him.
Yes, and it's something to bring the whole team together.
The 29th of this month, you are going to make a tribute in your home match against Ciencias, I think. And you are, yes, and you are raising money for his wife too.
Yes. I think the club has, you know, his memory and his legacy with the club is so big that we will do anything to keep supporting and his wife. And also he has friends all over that have been trying to do the same thing, raising funds and money just to help with any cost or expenses. And just, I think with all that money, it's nothing, you can't really compare to, you know, to the life he had and the life that he's left behind. But it's something just to show our appreciation of what he's given to the club, and I think it's such a good such a good thing.
Can you tell me how was Kawa? He had a wife. He was living here in Ordizia. Tell me about his life and how it was him.
Unfortunately, I didn't live in Ordizia. I lived in Getxo, but we always talked a lot. I asked him what he was doing. I'd suggest him, go try this, go eat this, go out. I'd invite him to come to Getxo. I host him for lunch and some dinners, and he enjoyed it. And that's the best thing we like about being here is the food. So, and good food, we're always happy to go anywhere where there's good food. And his life in Ordizia, he was surrounded by a lot of good people. He'd always talk about the good people, the captain, Yulen, and even the young boys, Alain and Anthony. All the boys, like, they looked out for him and made sure that he was
comfortable.
He was comfortable, and on the holidays, you know, everyone would go away as people do here.
Yes.
And it's holiday, they plan a trip to go. He wasn't sure what to do on the holidays. And I think he'd go on a boat with Asier Kota and like some of the boys, you know, just to sometimes I think he stayed back. He didn't really ask to do things because we are people like that. We are quiet. We don't do anything until people invite us.
Okay, I understand.
So so he started to go out slowly and come out of his bubble and become more social.
He was living with another teammate or with his wife. His wife was from here, or how it was his personal life a little bit, perhaps.
His first year, he was his wife was still in New Zealand. He was living here with some of the other rugby mates, and then after that, when she came over the second year, then they went into their own place. She's a lovely woman. She came and, you know, she was more openness, more sociable than Kawa, and she was nice. You know, she integrated into the community, the Ordizia community very quickly. And so by quickly, I mean she was learning Basque. That's so hard, learning Spanish and Basque at the same time. You know, she loved the Basque culture and loved everything about the town.
She's from New Zealand too.
She's from New Zealand, yes.
I would like to talk about a little bit of the life of rugby players from abroad, from the Pacific Island, from New Zealand, here, no? Because you are so many in rugby. How is this life? Because perhaps now you are, I think that is your 8th year around here. You have been in England, you have been in Spain, in the Basque Country. But how is the first year, perhaps, or the first weeks that you come from the Pacific Islands and you start living here? I think that it has to be difficult to adapt, first of all, to the language, and I don't know, to the culture too.
Okay, good question. Yes, I think it's from where we come from, whether it's New Zealand or the Pacific Islands, we live in a village, like in a village where we are surrounded by our families, our cousins, our aunties, grandparents, everyone. So we have, sometimes our best friends are our cousins. Our best friends are our brothers and sisters. We're big families. Kawa comes from a family of 6 as well, and I come from a family of 6. So to come out of the comfort zone into this country here on the other side of the world, nearly 24 hours flight away, it's such a big eye opener. It's like something we needed to do to become independent. And I think it's one of the hardest decisions for us to make, is to leave our home, leave our parents, because we when we grow up to work, and we work when look after our parents. And for us to come here and do our own thing is a hard thing. And for us players to come here and live by ourselves with no families, but we're very fortunate to have technology. So every time we call home, video call, Skype, all those things.
In other years, perhaps in the past, it would be very different.
Yes, in the past it would be very different. I think we would be homesick, and I think we would want to go home every 6 months. But we call home every time, so it makes us feel good. We're people who stay home a lot. We weren't not sociable to go out, do this, do that, and go on holiday. We don't go holiday much, you know. Our holidays, going to the beach and come back home. But yeah, other than that, I think the first year is a very hard, challenging, and right now there are non-profit organizations in England and France that help us players. So when we come here the first year, they reach out to us and say, "Hey, I see it's your first year in Spain. If you need any help, let us know."
Good. That's very good.
Yeah, because it could do with visas, or maybe the club didn't give our house, or they didn't they broke their promise or the contract. So these things, the organizations look after the Pacific Islanders, because we are very quiet people. We don't argue for things. We don't negotiate for things. No, I want this, I want that. If you say, "Okay, I pay you X amount of money, you can't play." "Oh, okay," I go. I won't ask him questions. I will go. I love rugby. We love the sport. We want to play rugby. We want to be in a new country, but yeah.
You return very often to your country?
No, I haven't gone back. My parents came here 2018, 2019, 2020, and left before the pandemic. So they came here just to visit me and see my family and see where I live, and they loved it. And
so you haven't returned?
I haven't gone back. The summer is the best here. Summer is good here.
How, I don't really know, how did you have the chance to come here? Because your first team, I think that it was Getxo in the season 14-15. How were you playing in New Zealand, and you have the offer to come here? How it was that process?
I think I was playing in New Zealand, and I have just got back to New Zealand. I went with Tonga A to Australia. There was a big tournament with Tonga A, the second team. And after I got back, another ex-Tongan player who lives in Santander, Simon Hafoka. He's married to a Spanish lady as well. And we are related somewhere along the lines. We are related. He contacted one of my coaches back in New Zealand and said, I have a club looking for an 8. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Oh, where is it?" Spain. Like, going for rugby? Am I going to go football, or I'm not good at kicking the ball? Football. And he said, "No, it's Spain." And I was like, "Oh, okay, interesting." So I didn't know what to do. I had to ask many of my other rugby player mates, and they said, "Do it. It's a good experience to get away." And yeah, I tried it. And then as soon as I came, and then now the process was quite was smooth, was easy. Yes, was not so hard. Yeah.
It was the first year for you playing here, living here, and trying to adapt here. As you said, the first year is difficult, even though you have, for sure, you had help from the team and from other associations. But I think that need to adapt here, it will affect that on that day in your level or not of play.
Yes.
You were able to do your best in the first year.
Not really. It was hard. For me to get a contract. The first thing I thought of was like, okay, I need to be professional. I need to go there. I need to do my best. It's my first professional contract. Okay, I will go play. And when I came, I was expecting. I think my expectation was very high.
Yes.
You know. And then when I came, I didn't realize that it's like you have 4 professionals or 3 professionals, and the rest are all local players.
Yes.
And rugby is still young,
Mm-hmm.
here in Spain, and I needed to bring down my level of expectation, and I needed to integrate and learn to teach and learn from them as well. I didn't.
Okay.
It wasn't okay. I'm professional. I had to play at my level only, but I had to adjust.
Okay.
And I think it took some time for me to realize that these players are playing socially. They love the game.
Mm-hmm.
They love the sport, and some of them don't get paid for it. So I was like, okay. So it made me come
change
back
your
down to earth.
point of view.
It changed my point of view, and I felt better to help these people who just started playing rugby maybe when they were 10 or 15 years old.
Okay.
You know, for me, I played since I was 6 years old.
In New Zealand, when you were playing, you were professional. You were living from that money from rugby.
No, I didn't. I was studying. And I was playing a club rugby, and then I go play for you play for a top team, but then you when that season's finished, you come back and play your normal club, and you have to go back to work.
Okay.
So it wasn't like a full on. You can get a contract and keep going.
So,
but I was traveling with the Tonga Sevens as well. So I was traveling the world a lot. It was Hong Kong, Singapore, Sri Lanka.
So your first professional contract was here in Getxo, and you were here living from that money. I understand.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
You were playing for Getxo. You went to England, to the 3rd division, to Coventry, and you returned to Spain to first play in Alcobendas, then Brac, and then you decided to return to the Basque Country, to Ordizia, because I think that your wife is from here, from the Basque Country, from Getxo, and you decided to come a little bit closer.
Yes, just be closer to the grandparents, and also I guess for me, I miss the food, I miss the sea, I miss the green, like and Basque Country to me is more like New Zealand. So if I had to describe what it's like to live in Basque Country, the green, the sea, everything was just like New Zealand. And
how is now your life here? I think that it has to be very different, or a very different Anthony Matoto comparing to the one in 2014.
I'd say I think I'm more integrated into the community, into the Basque community.
Okay.
I know more history. I know more. I understand a bit more the language. I'm proud to have my 2 daughters who are half Tongan, half Basque Tongan.
Yes.
And my father-in-law is a chef, so I eat well. I eat well. I eat well, and the community. I love the people. I think I can tell the reason why I love it here is because the people are really good, and I love the social life of being outside to have a beer and everything. So I think I'd say I've changed a lot. Besides my responsibilities, I've integrated into the community a lot. Yeah.
You have played rugby in New Zealand, Tonga, here in Spain, in the Basque Country, in England. Referring to the way of playing here, you have said, and it's true, that in Spain and in the Basque Country, rugby is a very young sport. It's very different the way of playing here, the way of living, understanding the rugby, and in the Pacific Islands. I think that yes is the answer. No, could you explain it a little bit?
Okay, I think the first example is the national sport is rugby in the Pacific Islands.
Okay.
The ball we played for when I was young was we had no shoes, so we're running around, no shoes and no shirt, because when you get tackled, they rip your shirt, and if you go home with a ripped shirt, your mother will get angry. So no shoes, no shirt, and we use a plastic bottle to play as a ball. So that's how I played. I grew up playing, and we had rugby was non-stop every day in your mind, and you watch the All Blacks, you watch the Wallabies, you watch the big teams play, and from there to New Zealand, you carry a rugby ball everywhere with your friends. Here everyone takes a football to the plaza or to the patio, you know, and they kick the ball. For the same exact thing, but in New Zealand, it's more a rugby ball. Take it to the beach, we're passing the ball around. So the skills in New Zealand is at a level of the people with their football skills here. Okay. You know, in rugby training, sometimes we kick a football. I can't really kick that well, but some guys that I didn't think that could kick a ball are kicking a football, but because they grew up with a football. But for me, like, I have better skills with rugby ball, and they have better skills with football than sometimes a rugby ball.
Yes, continue if you want.
But I don't know if I answered your question. Is that,
yes,
is that
perhaps is that one was a part of my question, and the other part is, how are you seeing the level here of the leagues here?
The level, I'd say that now it's improved. I remember 2014, my first year, and my second year, I scored the most tries in 2015, which was a first for me. The coach that came over to Getcho was my New Zealand coach, and he said, "Okay, here you go from 8, you go play 12." So I played 12, and he just told me to run, and that's all I did. And I think back then it was more people, you know, it was I wouldn't say more easy, but yes, it was easier than now. Now, as the years gone by, all the teams have improved. All the players have improved, defensive and offensively. So I think Spain's rugby, it's getting better and better, and it's getting harder. So I can play for the All Blacks, and I can come here and play in Spain, but does not mean I will score the most tries or anything, because all the players now are really good, and all the local players have improved a lot. I think that the way of training and the way of rugby is now is different to 5 years ago or 3 years ago.
Are you currently playing with the Tonga national team or not?
No. So the last time I was part of the squad was when they came to Anoeta.
Yes.
They came to play USA, and they played Spain in Madrid. And that was the last. They called me to come join the camp, and I joined the camp, trained with them. For me, it was a privilege and an honor to go into Anoeta and train there, you know, on the pitch there, and be part of the team. I was one of the young boys. The rest have a good experience, and they play in bigger teams in bigger countries as well. But that was the last time I was with them, and they tried to stay in contact with me. But I think I've gone to a point in my life where I am comfortable, and with the way things are here, I think I'm fine to not take international duties anymore.
But the reason is that you don't really want to do international duty, or what's the main reason? Perhaps it's a 50-50.
I think I can push for it, because the thing is, sometimes for us, you have to show them that you're available. You have to tell them that you're available, and they will get in touch with you. But nowadays it's like I have work. I work part-time teaching English. I work teaching English, and then besides the rugby, and I look after my daughters. So I have a lot of responsibilities now that if I had to go away for international duties, if I was asked, it's a big thing to stop what I have going my routine. And I know there's a lot of players out there who are younger than me that can, they can do the job. And I think my time is up for doing international duties.
As we said, you are playing third season in a row for Ordizia. How are you feeling the team? How are you performing in the team this last 3 years? How have you seen a little bit the team?
I think I've learned to enjoy it more. My rugby, like every team has their own culture and its own way of how an organization. Some clubs are run like a business. Sometimes some clubs are run by families or by the whole community. And with Ordizia, I see that it's run by mostly people who they're all socios or like all friends from the same choco or from the same sociedad, and it makes it more family. And they've accepted me and my family when my family come there. They feel good. So and it's the feeling of being in a town that I like, and the boys are all lovely. The boys are lovely. They're so good. From day one, they've accepted me, and I felt good. It's not like, although it's 1 hour away, my drive to training.
Yes, I know.
It's for me, I think I've gone to a point, it feels like half an hour drive, because I feel good going to training. Coach Inigo is doing a great job, and I believe in what he's trying to teach the team. That's why I've stuck around. I told him that one of the main reasons I hang around because I believe in what he's doing, and I think we can achieve success in this way. So besides the people being amazing and the coach and the system, the club as a whole is very good, and I think I feel welcome, and I haven't had any problems.
So how is a normal day during the week for you? Because you are teaching English, and you have to go to Ordizia many days during the week. I think you have an hour to go, an hour to return. Was perhaps a training day for you with the work? How do you manage to do all those things?
With kids comes responsibilities now, and I'm a family man. So from the Pacific Islands, family is a big thing, and we look after, babysit a lot. And my family comes first, and I look after them first. I have usually on a normal day, I have gym in the morning. I do gym here. I don't have to go to Ordizia to the gym. So I have gym at 7 in the morning till 8. Then I come back and stay with my kids till I have classes in the afternoon. I usually have English classes during the day online and in the afternoon. And then I make my way to Ordizia 2 or 3 times a week for training. And coaches has been very understanding of my routine. Sometimes I have to stay and look after my daughter, take them because they're sick, and coach has been very, very good with that. So family comes first to him as well, so which helps me carry on with my routine every day. Besides the work and that, nothing else interesting. Just a normal work routine of an athlete. And
you like to be a lot with your family at home.
My family, I'm mostly with my family all the time. If I'm not, then I'm at rugby.
And finally, I would like to make you some questions about the team, about the next matches. How has been the first part of the season? You are 4th in the table. Which valoration you can make of this first part of the season, Anthony?
I think firstly with COVID, it doesn't really help. The restrictions on and off. We're gonna train in a group. You stick with a group, or after mask or no mask. It's been challenging. It's been challenging to try find a way to train efficiently as a team. But I think we've done well. We've done well to train. And the first half, I would say, we started slow.
Yes, you didn't start very well.
We lost against Barcelona, who we lost again in last year in the quarterfinal. unfortunately, yeah, it was the first game, and for us, it takes a toll on us to travel, for example, to Barcelona, and on a hot day in Barcelona to play. We train in the cold here. We travel there, and it's hot. It affects the body and the mentality as well.
Okay.
Although we started slow, we didn't stop training hard. We tried every day to better little things, and then now we started slowly picking up, going up slowly, and we're still yet to reach our full potential. I think we still need to learn from our mistakes and get better with every training.
You are going to play this Sunday against La Vila, if I'm okay.
Yes, La Vila, yes, at home, and yeah.
Which
and
match?
That's
which kind of match do you expect?
This week I expect a big turnaround because we were quite unfortunate and sad with the loss against Les Abelles. We had the game, but we just a few mistakes of ours gave them the advantage to score some tries. And so this game is to make up for last week. So this game this Sunday is going to make up for the game we lost last week. And so everyone is excited for this game because we need to make up for the loss last week.
And my last question is the main goal of the club, of the team, the last several years is to win a title, the Copa or the Liga. Do you think that perhaps this year could be that year you have passed from a very difficult situation? Can finally this help to achieve what you are looking for? Even though I think that it's going to be hard, this first matches without Kawa, no?
Like I said in the beginning, that it's a big loss, and he's got some there's some big boots to fill. I think I've used that emotional energy to play against Burgos, that first game without him, and I think I went well, and I it was hard for me, but I think I did well, and now our next objective is to win the cup, and like every year, like every team, that's their objective. And for me, I'm optimistic. I'm an optimistic person, but we do have in our heads that we want to win the cup for Kawa, and for ourselves as well, and we deserve, after all the challenges we've been through, COVID, and then the big loss of Kawa, I think everyone is determined to at least win a cup, a Copa del Rey or the Liga.
Okay.